politician, the leader of their third biggest party over there. And I was reminded once again how much I love the I guess the culture that the politicians of Great Britain operate under, because they are so candid about things. Like she was interviewing this guy, and he essentially said, fuck Donald Trump, he's a huge shithead. Also, fuck Elon Musk, he's a huge coward.
Nice. I take it the president didn't take that very well.
I mean, Trump was off with the king or something.
Oh, was he not there to... Okay,
no.
I got you.
No.
Oh, you're talking about the person who's probably doing the radio thing.
Yes.
You know, it's one of those things. I remember, Boris Johnson being a thing. And
that's another huge shithead.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. He was dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Boris Johnson was dangerous. But I'll be a son of a bitch if I wouldn't have hung out with him just because he was legitimately funny,
mm-hmm.
and also was at times self-effacing and self-deprecating, and would come off as really personable. I mean, he was a complete fucking moron. He didn't know anything about anything.
Mm-hmm.
But
which is probably why he was the one who started the Brexit Party, right?
Yes.
Yeah, not knowing anything about anything is...
That's how you get to that position, yeah.
That is how you come to support such a moronic decision as Brexit.
Yeah. And it's just like... It's kind of like George W. Bush.
Yeah.
I blame George W. Bush almost directly for the death of my brother.
That's fair.
I'll admit that he's probably a fun guy to sit down and hang out with. Like
that was a lot of his appeal back in 2000. It was he was the guy that you could have a beer with.
Yeah, you have a beer with, right.
While Al Gore is constantly wringing his hands over the environment or something. I don't know.
And that shit worked on my dad. Like he was,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot I have to do hashtags on Alien Earth and Star Wars.
There's some House of the Dragon in there too.
And also the Dragon. Twitch.tv/Jedi Enclave Official. Boop.
Were you actually typing it as twitch.com for weeks and weeks?
I don't know. I can't remember. And I haven't gone back to check because I'm too afraid that is what happens. Okay. We should probably get started on this.
Yeah, I guess.
Welcome back to Jedi Enclave. I'm Daniel.
I'm Chris.
And this is the Jedi Enclave Presents. Now, this is Podcasting Podcast, your weekly podcast about Star Wars accessories.
And sometimes things that aren't Star Wars at all.
Yeah, which, depending on the amount of Star Wars news there is to be had, is sometimes the bulk of our show. Which is, by the way, a good pivot that we made. Because we were exclusively a Star Wars channel. And then... It was like in the heyday of like a lot of stuff happening in Star Wars, and I remember things started to like trickle down a little bit, and I being like, "What are we gonna do on our next? What are we doing on the show next week?
What do we do now?"
Yeah. So thankfully for everyone here, Chris and I also have many other science fiction and fantasy interests.
We are well-rounded
nerds,
and
we love to bring you in on that as well. Today we're talking about Star Wars news, House of the Dragon news, Knight of the Seven Kingdoms news.
And if you're asking what the fuck is Knight of the Seven Kingdoms,
you'll be
don't
like
worry.
Chris was.
I'm sure Daniel will explain this to you in excruciating detail.
And I actually don't know too much about it. And then, of course, we were talking about the 7th episode of Alien Earth. We are aware today the 3-episode premiere of Gen V Season 2 happened. We did not have time to watch it.
It completely snuck up on both of us.
Yes. Yeah, I forgot that it existed at all.
I sincerely apologize. I'm sure Daniel doesn't, but...
Why would you say that?
Because I know you.
That just means that next week we're going to be talking about
4 goddamn episodes.
4 episodes of Gen V.
The Alien Earth season finale.
Yes, Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy 2. So next week, we're probably only talking about.
It's probably a 2-hour podcast.
And then also at some point, Marvel Zombies is happening.
Oh God,
too.
that's right.
So I don't know.
We got a lot going on in the next couple of weeks.
That's true. While you're here, if you could give us a like on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, Discord, Blue Sky, all of the links are there in the description for you to parse through and choose what you like and what you don't. And before we get into anything big, the two minor things in my gaming life this week.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, the first of which was last night. For the first time ever, I checked out FTL.
Okay, yeah.
And like within a few minutes of me like going live with it, a longtime friend of the channel and someone I played Battlefront with a while ago, Dalton, was like, be prepared, this game is addicting. And I was like, it can't be that addicting. And then by the end of it, I'm sitting there like, oh, one more go. one more go. Because I had a hard stop. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, one more go.
And I can do this better next time.
Yeah. And I also went back and played a little bit today, and I put the difficulty down to easy. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, okay. There are a lot of mechanics in that game, and it's a lot of fun. And the whole reason that I checked it out was because in a bit, I can't remember exactly when, but in a bit, there's going to be a new Star Trek Voyager game and also a Battlestar Galactica game.
Mm-hmm. Both of which are said to have drawn inspiration
from FTL, right? Especially both of them look a lot like FTL. Mm-hmm. The whole like you have to escape the coming enemy and everything. So the other thing is that I completed the main story for the first time ever of Cyberpunk 2077. Okay. Which look, if you're like, bitch, Cyberpunk 2077.
That game came out what
4 years ago?
4 or 5 years ago.
I played it when it launched. It was unplayable.
Yes.
And I put it away, and I really thought I'd gotten a refund on it. And I'm starting to think maybe that I did, and it just never happened. Like I submitted a refund for it, and it just never happened. So at your urging, who apparently is Cyberpunk's perhaps biggest champion.
I don't remember saying anything to you about this at all. You just saw that I was playing it on Discord a whole bunch. And you're like, that's interesting. Maybe I should give it another go.
Well, yeah, and then I asked you about it, and you said something about it being like one of the best games ever or something.
I do like it quite a lot. I think it's one of the best games of the past decade or so.
So I re-downloaded it, started a new like a new character with the same uncircumcised floppy penis. And got through the main game, and actually had a lot more fun with it this time around. And I think probably we'll play the DLC.
Okay.
Fairly soon.
It's very James Bond inspired.
The DLC.
Yep.
Okay. See, you just got my interest. Yeah. Like I'm almost certainly.
I know you like James Bond.
I do. I'm a fan. And so like now I'm just doing. Like I did like the last mission, and I think the only complaint was that it's very confusing what you're supposed to do at the end when you're given the last like choice, because there's just a couple confusing things about it. But like I got through it. I think I got one of the good endings, because if I understand it correctly, like there are a couple of like pretty bad endings.
Yes. Spoilers for Cyberpunk 2077. I won't go into complete details because I know you haven't gotten all of them yet. There is one ending where you can just decide, you know what, this isn't worth the trouble, and your character unalives themselves. There is one ending where you make a terrible mistake in trusting a megacorp, and that doesn't go very well for you.
My whole philosophy throughout this entire game was fuck the corporations. Johnny Silverhand was onto something.
You are very genre savvy.
Yeah. And that's why Johnny Silverhand and I ended up at the end of the game being pretty close, to the point to where like we were buds at the end, and it made it really hard because I think for the last mission I went in as Johnny with with Rogue, which really sucks because spoilers, Rogue dies and then I ended up letting Johnny ride off into the sunset into the computer internet program or whatever. And then I'm pretty sure I'm in a really serious relationship with Carrie now.
Yep.
who texts me every couple of days to see if I want to hang out, which I think is pretty funny. And then, yeah, I had a bunch of fun with it. I thought it was pretty cool. And I'm sure my build is nonsensical.
If you had fun, it's a good build.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing. So, also finished the Order of the Giants DLC for Indiana Jones, which was also, to me, a lot of fun. There's some pretty cool puzzles. One of them in particular, I was like, what the fuck do I do here? How do I even solve this? Which was kind of neat. So if you've not played that, go and check it out. All right, let's get into some Star Wars news.
Can we start with one film industry thing that's
Chris,
not Star
this
Wars
is
explicitly?
The world is our oyster.
Okay.
We may do whatever we please.
Robert Redford died a couple days ago.
Yes, I wasn't going to bring it up because he wasn't in any Star Wars things.
But I just felt like we should at least mention it in
Yes.
passing. He's a fantastic actor, fantastic director, big champion of independent cinema, ardent environmentalist.
Yes.
So all very great things, and
all around really cool guy. And you know he's the star of my favorite bad movie. And I say bad with quotes because the critics didn't love it, and I guess audiences didn't love it when it came out, but I'm crazy about it. It's called The Last Castle.
Okay.
And it stars Robert Redford as the main character, but also his main antagonist is the guy that played Tony Soprano.
I feel like you might have told me about this movie.
Yeah. Kevin Bacon's in it. So he gets sent to a military prison because he was a 4-star general that made a bad call on a mission or something, and some people died, and he ended up he got court-martialed and went to prison, and got to prison and realized that there's a boys club with the leaders, and sometimes unruly prisoners would end up dead.
Oh.
And because he's a 4-star, the kind of man that you have to be a 4-star general is the kind of man that commands every room he's in.
Yeah.
That's just kind of a part of
very take charge kind of person.
And so he leads a prison rebellion. And it is insane. And there's this really great moment in the movie where pretty much all of the prisoners, all of which were serving members of the armed forces, they got everyone in the mess hall, and they were able to get the guards out, and he stands up on a table and he goes, gentlemen, I propose we take this castle. And everyone applauds and shit. And it's like, all right, dude, this is pretty good. And it's really great. What is that guy's name that played Tony Soprano?
Galifianakis?
No, you're thinking about Zach Galifianakis. It is something like that, though. Hold on, I'm going to look it up real quick.
Because his son was in Kingpin.
Yeah.
Or Daredevil Born Again.
He was also in they did a Sopranos prequel a couple of years ago that we saw in theaters. James Gandolfini, of course, yeah. The amazing Gandolfini, who in that movie is a really, really good villain as well. But yeah, Robert Redford, Godspeed, sir. You were great for the world. Sorry to see you go.
This is an aside, but mentioning James Gandolfini and Tony Soprano made me think of it. Somehow my YouTube algorithm has started suggesting to me these Sopranos, Star Trek: The Next Generation mashups.
What?
Where they edit the Sopranos characters into Next Generation scenes. I'll find one and send it to you later.
We can never let my partner John find out about this. Because he loves the Sopranos and he loves Star Trek: The Next Generation. Holy shit. Okay, Star Wars news.
Yes.
Andor Season 2 took home some Emmys, and you know what?
Well deserved.
I'm really happy about this. I'm also very pissed about it. I'm going to tell you about it here in a second.
Because it didn't win enough?
There were 2 very obvious, just straight up snubs.
Okay.
So they were nominated for 14 awards. They ended up taking home 5. Outstanding writing for a drama series for Dan Gilroy for the episode Welcome to the Rebellion, which of course is well earned.
Definitely.
Perhaps for me, my favorite episode of the entire series. In a group of in a lineup of episodes of amazing episodes, right? Outstanding production design for a narrative period or fantasy program for the episode Who Are You? And that went to the production design team. Outstanding fantasy sci-fi costumes for the episode Harvest. outstanding picture editing for a drama series for Who Are You, and then outstanding special visual effects in a season or a movie entire season. The entire season got that award. Now, there's a bunch of shit it didn't get that it was nominated for.
Okay.
And I'll tell you about the things that really makes me upset. And there are two snubs that I don't think I'm ever going to be able to forgive. The first one is Genevieve O'Reilly not getting best actor or best supporting actor for her speech in Welcome to the Rebellion.
Ooh, yeah.
Which is one of the best moments. If you were to take all of the best TV that planet Earth has ever seen, like Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, The Sopranos, and a couple of others.
The Wire.
Yeah, her performance in that episode, let alone the entire show, was so obviously Emmy worthy that it's a little insane she didn't get it. And then the other thing is that Stellan Skarsgård,
ooh, yeah,
absolutely should have gotten something as well for literally anything. Any scene that he was in could have been an Emmy-winning performance.
Speaking of that sort of command the entire room, holy shit! Like Luthen walks into any room and like. I don't know if in universe he commands that necessarily, but my attention as a viewer was always on
He's always
him.
the most interesting guy in the room, yeah. Which is funny because he isn't necessarily the guy that walks into the room and takes control immediately. Mm-hmm. He's the guy that walks into the room and knows what's happening.
Immediately evaluates everything and is calculating everything.
Plus is a fucking revolutionary, and we need shit like that nowadays. Let's move on to some. Well, hold on first. Christopher Gray says, "May the force be with you, Daniel and Chris. Hope you're both having a good night. Thank you for both your awesome content. I am excited for Star Wars Starfighter. Let's do that real quick. So I posted a picture today that came from the director's Instagram of
Sean Levy, the director.
Yeah, of Ryan Gosling and Flynn Gray. It's a set picture of them on some kind of like
somewhere in the Mediterranean Ocean,
right? On some kind of like skiff or something. So like production obviously for that movie is like full steam ahead, which is a relief because I think that probably just a few months ago, if you had asked us, we'd be like, I don't know, that's actually happening. Yeah. So HBO bosses have weighed in on the release schedules for the Game of Thrones universe. Two big titles coming, one of them fairly soon. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms coming early 2026 in January, and then House of the Dragon Season 3 coming in early summer, probably June.
God, it'll have been like
2 years. 2 years, which is too long.
We're going to have to do another one of those recaps because I do not remember half the shit that happened in Season 2.
Well, I don't think we've done a Buzz recap for Season 2.
Huh.
So
this would be a good opportunity.
That is coming up, I feel, or at least before the show comes out. And the thing that makes the 2-year wait suck so much is that while I loved House of the Dragon, the ending of Season 2 wasn't as satisfying, I think, as people wanted it to be.
Well, you didn't enjoy 5 minutes of people walking while dramatic music plays?
Don't get me wrong. Raymond Jawadi knows how to fucking lay down a track. Oh, by the way, my partner and I have been doing our yearly rewatch. Yeah. We did House of the Dragon first and then Game of Thrones. And first of all, House of the Dragon is amazing. Every time I've watched it, I loved it. Even you know, the kind of slow stuff in Season 2. And we just watched the episode today of Daenerys storming King's Landing, which is, regardless of what you think about her character arc or if it was deserved or not, if it was the right call, Daenerys Targaryen bringing a nuclear bomb to a spear fight is always very fun to watch. And I could go on forever about what I think about it, but so you're probably thinking, what the fuck is A Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
I am. Why don't you tell me?
Well, it is a novella that George R. R. Martin wrote called The Tales of Duncan Egg, and it has two main characters: Sir Duncan the Tall, or Dunk, and his young squire Egg, who is revealed to be future King Aegon V.
Oh.
and this takes place, I think, like 90 years before Game of Thrones.
Is Aegon the Fifth the crazy one? The one that
the
Robert
Mad King?
Baratheon?
No, that's Aerys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Aerys. The Mad King, yeah.
I can never keep all these Targaryens.
Well,
straight.
they all start with A's. Like, what the fuck are you
Except
supposed to
Daenerys.
do? Yeah. So, yeah, it takes place 90 years before A Song of Ice and Fire, which is the Game of Thrones thing. And it obviously comes after the events of House of the Dragon. So it's like in a weird sweet spot for both of them. I'm obviously, I think anyone who knows me knows that I'm a massive fan of this franchise. So, like, we'll be watching the shit out of it when it comes out. We talked about the Star Wars Starfighter photo.
Yep.
Here's, oh man. So
Is it Mark Hamill time?
no, it's I want to talk about real quick. Lucasfilm apparently shuffling around their Star Wars film slate.
They do this every year. It feels like.
Well, it's this, and this is from an industry insider apparently. So take this with a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently this month, which is to say, it is true this month, may not be true next month.
Yes.
They have shelved Taika Waititi's Star Wars project, and Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron is back on.
This thing was announced and then canceled and then re-announced and then re-canceled and then restarted and then canceled. This has got to be like the 7th or 8th time they've brought it back from the graveyard.
You have to wonder at what point they're just kind of fucking with us a little bit. What we do know for sure, we're getting The Mandalorian and Grogu. That's coming May 22nd, 2026.
Come hell or high water.
Yes. Star Wars Starfighter, which we were just talking about, also May 2027. We're supposed to also be getting the Charmin Obey-Chinoy Rey movie, and then the James Mangold Dawn of the Jedi, and then I guess Simon Kinberg is also like doing a whole trilogy, which
okay.
I don't know.
I don't like. How many trilogies have they announced and then canceled? There was like Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, Ryan
There was
Johnson
the
had
Game
his
of Thrones
trilogy.
guys.
Yeah. Oh right, yeah, Benioff and Weiss. Fuck those guys, by the way.
I feel like there was at least one more that.
You're probably right.
So I don't think this trilogy is happening.
Yeah,
just based on the track record
right. here. So you want to talk about Mark Hamill real quick, and then we'll
Sure.
get into Alien Earth.
So Mark Hamill did what you do when you're a big Hollywood star, and he gave an interview.
Mm-hmm.
He said essentially that he wasn't so sure that it was a good narrative decision for him to come back and be Luke Skywalker again in The Force Awakens. And like he was also pretty sure that Harrison Ford was going to say no.
I think everyone thought Harrison Ford was going to. I think
because Harrison Ford was over being Han Solo
Right.
in like 1978.
I am sure, I'm positive that Kathleen Kennedy and who directed that first film?
J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams weren't counting on Han Solo to be in the story at first, and then Harrison Ford probably wanted to buy a new plane,
Probably.
or something, and was like, you know what? Fuck it, Han Solo forever. Which is funny because the effect that had on Mark Hamill was
he says, quote, once I saw in the press that Harrison Ford had accepted, I felt like I had been drafted because if I'm the only one who says no, I'll be the most hated man in nerddom.
Yeah, that's the thing is that we I think that fans would have forgiven Harrison Ford.
Yeah. The fans who know him and his history with the franchise would have understood. Like, he's been over this for decades.
He's been looking for a way out for a long time. He finally got it, and then they're pulling his ass back in. I'm not sure that the fans would have forgiven Carrie Fisher, and I don't think that there was ever any chance that Carrie Fisher wasn't going to be in all 3 movies if she was able to. Because ever since Return of the Jedi has been probably the world's biggest champion for Leia and the franchise, and also a champion of Star Wars fans kind of everywhere. Carrie Fisher knew her people, and she was very close to that community, and she loved Star Wars fans a lot. So I think that Star Wars fans would have been upset if she wasn't in it. If there was a Star Wars trilogy happening where we knew that Mark Hamill wasn't playing Luke Skywalker in it.
Like, he was available to, but just declined.
Right. I don't think anyone would have gone to see it. This is one of those things where it's... I mean, that's one of the reasons that the Star Wars rumor mill started like that whole online apparatus of rumors and theories and everything that we know now is because we wanted to talk about what's going to happen in Star Wars The Force Awakens, because we know Mark Hamill's on board. And the fact that they kept shit pretty like there were some details about the story that leaked about Rey and stuff, but no, I don't think anyone knew. I went in to see The Force Awakens. In the first sentence of that opening crawl, Luke Skywalker has vanished. And you're like,
what?
Why? What the fuck? Like, if we didn't have that, I don't think anyone would have been nearly as interested. And it's possible that Star Wars might have just kind of stumbled out of the gate, you know? I'm glad he did it. I like to remind people, I know people like to quote Mark Hamill a lot when they want a good argument for why they hate The Last Jedi. Because he's in the past been candid about how when he first read this script, he wasn't sure about it, but Rian Johnson brought him around and made him a believer. And
to be honest, at first glance, if you examine the Luke in Last Jedi and contrast that with the Luke from the original trilogies, there is a little bit of a disconnect there.
Yeah, there's a huge difference.
But there's also 30 years of lived experience in between the two stories.
And trauma. Like more trauma than him having to fight and nearly basically kill his father.
All that stuff that we haven't seen and don't have the full context for. And that Rian Johnson at least wrote in background material to explain the story that wound up being told.
So like, while people seem to care very much about what Mark Hamill's opinion is, I like to remind people that all these actors, Harrison Ford, the obvious one, Carrie Fisher, even Mark Hamill specifically, are not the Star Wars experts that all of us are. You go and ask Luke about what happens in the Timothy Zahn, Mark Hamill about what happens in The Last Command. Or
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, he'd be like, what's that? Like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Or, you ask him, what about Luke turning to the dark side in Dark Empire 2? He'd be like, wait, Luke turn to the dark side? What the fuck is that about?
That's weird.
They don't have the encyclopedic knowledge of the franchise like we do. They're actors. They don't have to be. They have to play the character, right? So, like, when I see stuff like this from Mark Hamill, who is like, I didn't really want to do it. I am not that surprised because they had moved on. I mean, shit. Return of the Jedi was, 82?
Something like that, yeah.
They had literally no input or involvement in the prequel trilogy. They thought their involvement in the franchise was dead.
Yeah.
And they had good reason to believe it, right? So they moved on to other things. Mark Hamill went on to be one of the most prolific voice actors the world's ever known. He doesn't need Star Wars to prop him up as a professional.
Harrison Ford went on to act in any number, like all the Indiana Jones movies, fucking Air Force One. Remember that one?
Yes. By the way, to this day, the main theme for Air Force One still gets stuck in my head. And the composer for that, James Newton Howard, had 2 weeks to write it. Which is really cool. Anyway.
Pretty good for 2 weeks work.
Yeah. So, don't expect what I'm saying is don't expect so much from these actors that we idolize. They aren't the Star Wars fans we are. And they'd be the first to tell you, right? Like they don't know half as much. George Lucas doesn't know half as much about the Star Wars universe as we do. And you and I, like the fandom at large, right? Yeah. Anyway. I also fucking love Mark Hamill. I'll just put that out there. He's in a Stephen King movie that I will probably eventually see.
He's also in Fall of the House of Usher.
And was amazing.
Incredible in it.
Was perhaps the best part of that show. And that's
saying a lot because that show's pretty good.
Yeah. They had President Rosalind from Battlestar Galactica in it. There are a bunch.
Oh, yeah. She was the
sister.
Oh, yeah.
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 That whole show was fucking fire. Yeah, it's great. Okay, Alien Earth, episode 7, Emergence. If you've not seen this show yet, if you've not seen the episode, go and watch it. If you don't really care, if you just want to hear us wax poetic about aliens and eyeballs and sheep, stick around. Let us. And if you have seen it, by the
if
way,
you haven't seen it, you're probably really confused. Like, what the fuck is going on with this sheep?
Which brings me to my next thing. Go and watch it, because honestly, like I was on board with this show at the beginning because
it's Alien and you love Alien,
right? And I like, as a kid, I saw it and shit. As we get a more complete picture of the season, I'm honestly like, you know what? This is a solid show. Like the way that I know that the writing takes. It is a little bit of a slow burn, and it doesn't have quite the writing prowess as, say, Severance.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But let's be fair.
Like, very few shows are going to hit that level of writing excellence.
Right. So I'm not going to hold any show to that standard, because it's one of my favorite shows of all time. That being said, I really like how this show works, and like the functionality and the utility of it. And I like that it just, every episode that goes by, this little island that they're on feels like a powder keg ready to explode, right? And in this episode, shit started lighting on fire. So we're going to talk about it. Let us know in the comments if you've watched it, what you think. We'll probably read them as we go along. Let us know what your favorite alien is. And
why it's the eyeball sheep.
Yeah, why is it the eyeball sheep? Who we learned today is way smarter than I think people even guessed. Because I think, like, in a previous episode, you can read some of the computer screens with info on all the different aliens. And for the eyeball, it says something about it being intelligent. But I think we thought, like Jurassic Park raptors learning how to open the door is intelligent.
Clever girl, you know.
Right. I don't think we are thinking, like, PhD in mathematics.
Yeah.
Smart, which apparently this thing might actually be. So, we have the title theme, which I'll say it every week. I love the title theme of this show, and it's only like a couple of chords, but it's really, you know what it actually reminds me of? It feels a little bit like Andor sometimes.
Yeah.
And the guy that did that. So we see the title theme over the xenomorph body that Wendy killed, as well as some other the scenes from the previous episodes, which is like, if you're going to do the old school...
Previously on X-Men.
Right, but... So the first Aliens movie, or Alien, the title card comes in bit by bit, and that's what they're that's what they're parroting for that.
Replicating, not
right? Not parody, but parroting, like
parroting.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But you're right. If you're gonna do that bit by bit and really commit to because it's kind of it takes it takes like 35 or 40 seconds.
You have some time to do some
just
things.
Do your previously on right underneath it with some fucking bomb ass music, and it's way better than the way they usually do it. So slightly fucking this poor kid who's having the worst week of his entire life
slightly has made some bad decisions, and they are coming home to roost.
Yes,
let's say.
So you might remember in the previous episode he was like, Arthur, meet my friend Facehugger. And they got to know each other really fucking well, right? And so Slightly has dragged Arthur back to his room and just stuffed him under the bed, which is the most kid thing in the world to do, right?
Just if it's under the bed, it can't hurt me.
Yeah. Let's also talk about for a second the sound that the Arthur and the Facehugger both, because I think the Facehugger is like breathing for him.
Yeah.
And but his lungs are still working. So like we hear respiration noises from Arthur, but we also hear noises from the Facehugger, and it's really gross. Yeah, it's real nasty.
Like, just imagine that you're a robot with super hearing in this room, and you're hearing this all in perfect detail.
Yeah,
it's really fucking gross.
Also, while we're imagine being Slightly in this situation, having no idea what's happening, and like on one hand, Morrow told him, "Oh, he'll be fine. He'll just have a bad couple of days."
Yeah.
But a counterpoint to that, He's currently unconscious
Yes.
under his bed with a monster strapped to his face. And imagine being a kid looking at that and not going, I just shat my pants. Like, what the fuck is happening?
My favorite part of this is slightly like, hey, Arthur, I've got this little green drink. You want some juice? And like tries to peel the face hugger back so he can squirt some of the juice in there, but the face hugger, get off.
Yeah, it's a very kid thing
Yeah.
to be worried about, oh, I wonder if Arthur's hungry.
Yeah.
It's like, slightly. There is a monster on
that
his
man
face.
is dead.
Yeah,
like he is already dead. You just don't realize it yet.
I think it's interesting that the face hugger forces the liquid back out, where it has what's the word I'm looking for? It has like an evolutionary drive to control the host or the human that it's on. So, like, it's not going to allow anything to go in that it doesn't want or anything. So, Smee shows up, who doesn't know what's happening, but knows that his friend Slightly is being kind of weird. Yeah. And is like, bro, we're best friends.
What the fuck's going on?
Yeah. Like,
so like,
why are you being so crazy?
I'm not crazy. Go away.
Please go away. I have to go to work now.
And Smee's like, we don't work.
You're 12. Kids. You're 12. You don't have a job. Slightly.
Come on, man.
And he's like, please, for the love of God, leave me alone. And Smee's like, fuck it, I'm coming in. And he forces his way in, and he discovers Arthur.
Arthur's arm poking out front of the bed. He's like, is that a man's arm?
Yep.
And Slightly's like, maybe. Smee's like, oh my God, there's a monster on that man's face.
Yes.
What did you do?
I love how both boys are just freaking the fuck out. Yeah. They're just like feeding into one another, and they're just like, because they're kids, right?
So it was like, okay, you know the guy from the ship. He said he's going to kill my family if I didn't put a monster on someone's face and take him down to the beach. So now I got to get this guy down to the beach.
Right.
Like, will you help me?
Please, you must promise to help me.
Help me, Smee-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Only hope. And Smee's like, only because we're best friends. Mm-hmm. But he's going to be okay, right? And Slightly is like,
yeah, probably.
I think, and it's not a lie because I think, Slightly is like
to the best of his knowledge. Yeah.
So, poor Slightly is going through a lot right now, and you can't help but feel kind of sorry for him because he was the weak link that Morrow targeted because he's a sweet little boy and he cares about his parents and he doesn't want anything bad to happen to them. So they grab Arthur and they start moving him, and they avoid some guards. Meanwhile, Krish makes his way to the secure lab to see what the fuck has happened down here. Yes. So he finds Isaac's body, which is just being eaten by bugs. We also learn in this scene, apparently, that not only do the bugs digest things externally, but on their planet, organic matter was obviously scarce, so they don't eat organic matter. Yeah, they eat minerals. Right. So, like, they're trying to eat, like, control boxes and shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, their lunch. And it's also why they went for Isaac in the first place, because it, like, just a walking body of machinery. Like, that's a fucking buffet.
Delicious.
Yeah. So he notices the empty egg and
doesn't comment on it.
Yes.
Just kind of
but hits the button and closes the door. Yeah. He's like, just in case. So he sends in 2 soldiers to recapture the bugs, which they're shocking them with like cattle prods and putting them in containment devices, all while Eyeball Sheep and Xenomorph watch both of them, right? And even still, one of my favorite parts of this show is watching the sheep put it all together.
Yeah.
And like plan his domination of the planet.
This is the most thoughtful sheep you have ever seen, which is a strange and terrifying thing to say.
Yes. So Boy Cavalier shows up, and Krish is like, hey, it's safe. Kirsch. Yes. And it's like, hey, it's safe. You can come in. Actually, what he says, you should be safe for now, which felt a little threatening to me. Boy Cavalier he's entirely unbothered by Isaac dying. They also mentioned maybe doing like a reboot reset.
Yeah.
But it's more theory than practice, and they're not really sure if that's the thing that they can actually do. And so Boy Cavalier is like, fuck it, whatever, $6 billion.
Yeah.
What the fuck do I care? So Kirsch points out that this entire thing was not an accident. And he shows him the video of Eyeball Sheep scaring the shit out of Isaac and orchestrating the entire thing.
Yeah.
And Boy Cavalier is like, holy shit.
That sheep is smart.
Yes. I would like to speak to him, please. So I want you to move eyeball sheep, and I would very much like to converse. Thank you. And he's so excited because remember this conversation you had earlier about just trying to find one person he could have an interesting conversation with.
Mm-hmm.
What could be a more interesting conversation than a sentient genius eyeball sheep? Like, just those words together in that order is kind of insane. So Wendy shows up and demands to know what's going on because she sees Isaac. She realizes the hybrids aren't as invincible as she was led to believe. Mm-hmm. So she's starting to get kind of scared about that. This whole thing does not sit well with her because she also kind of like gets the read on Boy Cavalier that he's just being real cavalier about it.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm going to go tell the others because we're not safe. Like we're all in danger. And she leaves and the guards try to stop her. And she turns to her friend Xenomorph and has a few words with him. Yeah. And Xenomorph hits the fucking glass with his head and scares the shit out of the guards. Mm-hmm. And she just walks right past him. Wow. Boy Cavalier watches this and is like, it's my fucking birthday.
Yeah.
Like, so much interesting shit is happening right now. And then he goes, oh shit, where are the others? We have to get to them before Wendy does.
Kersha's like, I can't tell you where the others are because their trackers are down.
Right. Yeah. Because Boy Cavalier's like, well, go look on their trackers.
It's like, I can't look at their trackers.
Yeah. About that, we have no ability to track any of the $6 billion a piece investments that we've made. And this becomes a huge and Boy Cavalier knows it, right? Because this is happening for a reason, and he's got to figure it out. So Joe visits Wendy in her room. Marcy, yeah. I guess to Joe it would be Marcy, yeah.
Also, I think she's kind of stopped being Wendy.
Has she?
Like in the last episode,
I guess Dame Sylvia
called her Wendy. She's like, no, my name's Marcy.
Yeah. So she tells him about Isaac, and he's like, that's really terrible. I'm so sorry about your friend. But really, we need to leave now.
We can go now. Like, I have this great plan. We'll jump on a boat. It'll be great.
All the trackers are off. Mm-hmm. They'll never find you.
Also, I asked a lot of people a lot of questions about boats, so I'm basically an expert now.
Yeah, and they have no idea that's where we're going.
Yes.
Somehow. Mm-hmm. And she's like, okay, but we have to take everyone with us. And he's like, girl, we do not have the time for that. And she's like, well, I wouldn't just leave you here. We're not leaving everyone else either. And he's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. So they visit Nibs first, who is hanging out with Curly. Nibs is still freaking out over their last conversation about her memory getting deleted. Mm-hmm. And she has a stuffed animal called Mr. Strawberry that she keeps talking to. And she seems perfectly well adjusted and just fine with everything that's going on.
I mean, you tell me when you were a kid, you didn't talk to your stuffed animal?
Well, no. But also, I think talking a lot to your stuffed animal after being told that part of your memory was erased probably has a different feel to it.
Maybe.
So Wendy tells them about Isaac. She's like, Isaac's dead. Of course, Curly defends Boy Cavalier, right? And
because she wants to be his favorite.
Right. And then Nibs just voices up and says, we're all going to die here. Then the bugs will crawl in and we'll all be ghosts. And everyone side eyes and like, what the fuck is wrong with this girl?
That's kind of really fucking weird, man.
So Nibs is like, okay, I'm going to go. But Curly is going to stay. And but she promises.
Marcy's like, okay, you have to promise me that you will not tell anyone that we are taking this boat out of here.
Right.
I especially need you to promise me that you will not tell Boy Cavalier that we are riding out of here on a boat.
Right. And she's like, of course I won't. I promise. And when has a little kid ever broken a promise? So Marcy hacks the display and lets the xenomorph out of its cage. And holy fuck.
This xenomorph proceeds to murder like a dozen soldiers and researchers.
The entire like cleaning, because they're all in there cleaning up their lab and shit. So it kills all of them and easily escapes. So this all happens on a computer screen just seconds after they walk away from it. It's terrifying. So Dame Sylvia hangs out. She's looking at her husband's pictures, and then Boy Cavalier shows up. And he says... He's like, where's the spouse? The Boy Cavalier is such a twat to everyone. And like he's like, Dame Sylvia's like, well, he got fired. He got on the ship to go somewhere else. And he's like, well, actually, he didn't. And he turned off all the trackers. And I'm pretty sure you probably helped him, right? And she's like, no, you fucking idiot. Like, I chose my job over him. Like, are you being serious with me right now? On cue, before he can push her further, on cue, there's an alarm for the secure lab breach.
Oh.
So Boy Cavalier watches the footage of the xenomorph killing everyone. And I swear to God, Chris, he should look worried, but he doesn't. He just looks really excited.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a weirdo. Slightly and Smee are almost out of the building when they're caught by Krish.
Kirsch.
Why did I put Krish in my notes?
I think you just spelled it wrong once and kept doing it.
It's in my brain.
Anyway, Kirsch is like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And
well, they think they're in trouble. They're
and
like,
Slightly's
shit.
Well, you know, the guy from the ship told me to get a monster on someone's face and take him down to the beach. So I'm trying to do that so my family doesn't die. Kirsch is like, I know that, you dumbass. What I'm saying is, what the fuck are you doing going that way when the fastest way to the beach is this elevator right here?
Both of them just look like they got caught smoking. And their parent was like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where they're like, I'm very confused. What am I supposed to do now?
We're not in trouble?
Yeah. So they get on the fucking elevator, right? And then Kirsch tells him what floor to go to.
Yep.
So Joe, Marcy, and Nibs walk through the woods away from the compound. They find the graveyard where their former bodies are buried. Mm-hmm. And Marcy says something to the effect of, hey, that's not us. We're still here. And Nibs says, I don't think I am anymore. And, like, you got to start worrying about Nibs at some point. Because this girl
she is not particularly well adjusted at this moment.
Josie's a patrol and is like we need to fuck off. Yeah. Slightly and Smee carry Arthur through the woods. And they hide to avoid a patrol. They have to set Arthur down. But when they look back, he's just gone.
They're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Didn't we put him here and there? And where'd he go? Oh, God!
Yeah, Facehugger just drops out of the sky and is dead. And they stomp on it a bunch. And then Arthur just shows up, seemingly fine.
He's like, hey, guys.
But anyone who's ever seen any alien movie ever knows to what extent this man is not fine. Yeah.
Yes.
So Arthur is confused because he doesn't know why they're out here. And the boys try to lie and say that like he's like,
there was an emergency
right.
gas leak.
Yes.
You're confused because of that, but we're evacuating down to the beach.
Yeah. Everything is fine here. How are you? Also, your wife is on the beach.
Yes.
And you're confused because of the gas.
Yes.
And he's like, you can see on his face, Arthur's like, oh, that's a bunch of bullshit.
Like he's still confused, but he's not that confused, I think.
They get to the beach, and Arthur confronts them, and he's like, look,
you kids don't know how
to
lie.
You're both full of shit.
You're so bad at this.
You know it. I know it.
Let's go back, and you can tell me what's got you so spooked, and I promise I will help you. And oh God, I'm coughing up blood now.
Yep. Yeah. Before they can go back, Arthur collapses and a little baby xenomorph pops right the fuck out of his chest.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime girl.
On cue, both boys proceed to freak the fuck out. Like, especially Smee, by the way, who has no skin in this game other than him saying he would help his friend.
Yeah.
So like you can
poor sweet innocent Smee.
Yeah, like you can forgive Slightly from just taking it in stride because he's trying to protect his family and everything, and he's kind of bracing for the worst. But Smee doesn't have any of this shit going on, and so he just watched a monster burst out of a man's chest
and then go skittering into the woods.
Right.
And disappear.
Oh yeah, it slithers away, and Slightly's really upset because he was supposed to get the monster, and now it's gone, and. So Slightly just starts dragging Arthur's body and screaming, "We're gonna be late!" And Smee's like, "Late for what?" I don't understand.
Fuck, man?
Yeah. So, Dame Sylvia is taking a nap, wakes up and finds Curly watching her, upset. She consoles her. We don't see in the scene. We don't see her say anything about the boats, but I think at some point she does tell someone.
Yeah.
Either that or Joe's friends are so sure that he's going to the boats that they told Boy Cavalier.
Honestly, I could believe either one.
So Slightly and Smee are able to drag Arthur's body to the meeting spot and are met with a...
Where did they get the raft that they put his body on?
I think they kind of fashioned it out of bamboo, maybe.
Because, like, that looks...
It's pretty well made.
Yeah, it looks sturdy enough that, like, I don't think they'd have time to make it in the moment.
I don't know, man. Maybe Smee was a Cub Scout.
Maybe they pulled it out of a plot hole.
Yeah. So a Yutani SEAL team pretty much shows up, led by Morrow.
Mm-hmm.
And Morrow's really pissed because Slightly doesn't have the alien. And he instructs his guys to capture the boys and bring them with. Which, by the way, Slightly keeps asking, is my mom okay? And Morrow doesn't answer the question. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure she's just dead now.
Yeah.
So...
This is a good chance.
Yeah. They just leave Arthur's body in the water. Poor Arthur. Out of everyone on this island right now, he's got the worst part of this deal.
Yeah.
Boy Cavalier, and this is a real sentence, I swear to God, has a conversation with Eyeball Sheep. And it's kind of astounding.
So he tries saying hello in like 5 different languages, and then he's like, okay, so you don't like any of my human words. How about math? You like math, right? Like here's the first 3 digits of pi. What are the next 3? And this sheep fucking
stamps him out.
Stamps him and then takes a shit on the floor.
Yep. The sheep the eyeball has proven that it's apparently a part of an advanced civilization. Mm-hmm. And it looks very pissed that it's still in confinement because he proves his intelligence, and Boy Cavalier is like, we're going to keep you in there. And he's like, motherfucker.
You are the first one I'm going to kill when I get out of here.
Yes. Boy Cavalier is beside himself, and he wants to be able to talk.
Yes.
Right? He wants it to be able to talk.
We need to put this thing in a smarter body, a human body.
Right. So his first big idea was like, oh, you know what? We'll get one of the mold scrubbers, which now we know what those things are.
Yeah.
Or what those guys are. And because they have such a low IQ, we can put the eyeball in him and then see how much smarter he gets. Yeah. And it was like, oh, hold on. Scratch that. I know exactly who'd be perfect for this. And then just cuts to a different scene. I think he means Dame Sylvia.
That's my suspicion.
Yeah, because I think if he's suspecting her of helping Arthur out and everything, maybe I don't know. I don't fucking know. It could be anybody. So, or one of the hybrids, maybe.
Joe, maybe. Well, I don't think the eyeball is interested in the hybrids because they're robots.
Yeah, but does he know? Does Boy Cavalier know that? Yeah, you're probably right. It probably is an organic person. My first thought was Dame Sylvia, just because it's kind of a, So Joe, Wendy, and Nibs continue their journey to the boat dock, and Wendy hears something in the bush, and it ends up being the second SEAL team, right? Yes. And Marcy's
like, look, you guys should just keep walking and pretend you never saw us.
You have no idea the friend I just made the last couple of days. Also, hilariously, Nibs hisses at them like a cat. The further we get into the story, Nibs just keeps getting more and more unraveled.
And the SEALs are like, all right, we're taking you into custody now. And Wendy's like, actually, let me just speak a little alien here. Yeah. And then the Xenomorph jumps out of the trees and starts murdering everybody.
Kills the whole team. What, like 5 seconds flat? Yeah. Kills the whole fucking team. Then it comes out and says hi to Marcy, and she gives him a little pat and talks to it.
A little pat on the head and tells him, hey, go back up in the trees and follow us.
It knows not to attack Joe or Nibs, and it comes right up to them. Huh. And this is a creature that we have never seen really to this effect not kill people. Yeah. Yeah. And Joe the whole time is like trying not to shit his pants. Mm-hmm. And I'm not even sure Nibs even knows what to think about it. I think she's just kind of like, I got to talk to Mr. Strawberry about this. I'll get back to you.
I need to consult with my blue-footed booby here.
Right. So, she tells the Xeno, he's like, fucking hide and follow us. So, Arthur's baby Xeno is slithering through the forest and is captured by somebody. We don't see in the moment who it is.
Big old net falls on it.
So Morrow's SEAL team approaches the compound. They get in. They've got Slightly and Smee. They get into the compound, only to be met by Kirsch and a bunch of men who were all expecting him.
Yes.
And like the guns are pointed. Fucking Morrow's like, what did you do? You fucking got fucking kids.
Like, Morrow points his gun at Slightly. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck did you tell me?
Right. So Kirsch is like, look, you're obviously dead here if I want you to be.
Just put your guns down.
Yeah.
No one likes a sore loser.
Right. Boys, come on over here. And you can see both of them like, oh, thank God. So they run and they hide behind Kirsch.
Yeah.
Also, Kirsch has the baby Zeno in a little container, and he sets it down. And Morrow says, this isn't over. And Kirsch says, nothing ever is. And he turns to the boys and he's like, you're grounded.
You are in so much fucking trouble right now.
You just wait until we get home, young men. So Joe, Marcy, and Nibs get to the boat. But Joe's Marine friends are waiting for him, ready to capture him, right?
Because he spent the entire last episode asking
Right.
them, hey, guys know anything about boats?
They're like, you spent, and I shit you not, 15 minutes during our patrol asking about boats, asking where to find boats,
How to pilot
asking
boats.
how to start the boats, where to point the boat once it started to get away from the island, and how many people fit on the boat. We knew you were coming for the boat.
Yeah.
Okay, so put your hands up, like it's it's over. We're gonna go in. They don't want to, and then they're surrounded by like an entire team. And then, we find out that like they don't want to fire them because they don't want to hurt the hybrids because they're really expensive pieces of tech.
And Nibs, bless her heart, says, Mr. Strawberry says, fuck off.
And like, does the little thing where it says, Mr. Strawberry says to fuck off, we're never going back. And one of the guards takes Mr. Strawberry and throws him into the water.
And she just looked like
Eye twitches.
like you can hear the Kill Bill siren go off.
Yep. So Nibs grabs this man's face and pulls his
jaw out.
straight off. And what's really funny is like Marcy like turns to look for a second, and you can see that she doesn't know what she's seeing.
What the?
She's like, whoa,
Jesus.
Whoa.
Whoa.
So there's a small skirmish, right? Wendy starts to call for the xenomorph in the confusion, but like Joe's like, no.
That's a very bad idea.
One of the soldiers shoots Nibs a couple of times, who grabs her, breaks her neck, right as Joe grabs a rifle that he got from one of the other guys, and hits her with a stunner. And then so Nibs goes down. It's unclear if she's dead or just stunned.
Yeah.
But
the electricity did not do her any favors.
Yes. Marcy does not like this.
No.
That this has happened. And I'm also wondering, if the stunner didn't kill Nibs, I wonder if this will interfere with the memory block they did.
Maybe.
And maybe she wakes up with all of her memories. And it's just more unhinged and crazy. So,
because if you remember, the incident that caused them to put the memory block in place, she was already a little bit unhinged.
Oh yeah, she was cooking like for a little bit, yeah. So we get "Song for the Dead" by Queens of the Stone Age as a needle drop, right, as they've done in every episode. The last couple, like the last minute or so, gets a really
and like Marcy is looking around at all these soldiers, and they're all looking at her, and the xenomorph is in the trees looking at all of them.
He like pokes his head out and is like, "Oh,
hey, y'all.
It's xenomorphin time."
And that's the end.
That's the life expectancy for these poor soldiers has just evaporated.
They are doomed.
Next episode is the last episode, which I'm a little sad it's over. Next week, so we'll be talking about the season finale next week. I assume season finale and not series finale. I assume that they'll do a second season.
I feel like they have to.
Yeah.
Because like, unless they nuke the planet or nuke the island from orbit, there's going to be aliens around on Earth, which is a really bad thing.
Hence the name.
Yeah. Alien Earth.
Yeah. So next week we're talking about the season finale, Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy.
4 episodes of Gen V.
Yeah. Too much shit we're talking about next week. So there probably will be no Star Wars news. We're probably just going to get right into all the shit we're watching. So come and join us. Make sure you get caught up on all of your TV homework as well, and let us know what you think. In the meantime, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. We love you guys, and we'll see you later.